Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe and Brianna. I want to tell you something. I live in Fullerton, and we got a situation right now where we have our city government that owns parcels of land. Basically, it's city property, and right now we've got a property on 600 West Commonwealth. And what this is right now is it's been a city yard where they kind of leave all their busted street lights and equipment. And it's been sitting kind of empty and underutilized for a number of years, but it's owned by the city, and you're not going to believe this, folks. You're literally not going to believe this. But the city of Fullerton wants to take this piece of public property that's probably worth, I don't know, maybe $10 million. I don't know how big it is, but it's, you figure at least $1 million an acre. I don't know the exact size of this property, but it's worth millions of dollars. So there's a business that wants to come to Fullerton. It's a biotech company. And it's got lots of employees, and it wants to build and expand their business on this property. And they've got proposals to expand and build and hire people and bring jobs to Fullerton. You know Fullerton, it needs jobs, folks. And you know what the city council wants to do? They want to, instead of sell this property at a market price to a business to develop it and turn it into a jobs program, a job-creating boost to the economy to continue to increase the tax base and the quality of life and the standard of living for the residents. Because after all, who wouldn't want to have an employer open up in town and give everybody an opportunity to have a job, right? Isn't that what everybody needs right now? No, you know what they want to do? They want to give this property away for free to a nonprofit so they can build transitional homeless housing. Now here's the deal, folks. It's in the middle of a residential neighborhood, and it's not going to be one of those secure places. These guys are going to be able to come in there, drugged up, jacked up, fresh out of jail, in and out, kind of no questions asked. And the city wants to give them the land for free and make sure that a business can't move in there. They want a homeless shelter full of drug addicts and ex-cons and mentally ill people in the middle of a residential neighborhood instead of a business that provides jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is criminal behavior. Look, folks, the homeless problem is a big problem. But you want to know something? We should not be giving them needles and laundry service and breakfast, lunch, and dinner and a place to sleep if they want to stay jacked up on drugs. But what does the city want to do? It keeps running businesses out of town, and in this case, it's no exception. They want to keep a business from setting up shop, and in exchange, they want to give away a piece of real estate that's worth millions of dollars to a nonprofit that has no money. Did you hear what I just said, folks? This makes no sense. And last night at the Fullerton City Council meeting, a long procession of people, including myself, spoke the truth about this nonsense. And you know, it takes a lot for people to get away from their comfort zone and come speak at a public meeting. But they did, ladies and gentlemen. And although it is not before the council yet, we're getting way out in front of this. And you too need to get involved, whether you're in Fullerton or not. You need to be aware that there are plans to ruin your city. Anyway, it's a bad idea. Here it is. This is a must-see. Try to watch it to the end. That's where I come on. And let me tell you something, folks. You cannot let these crooks on the city council get away with this. And for those of you who voted for these people, it's not my fault. I tried to get elected. But you want to know something? The police union and the fire union supported these crooks. It's not going to happen, folks. I'm running again in 2020. Watch this video.
Hello, my name is Joe Marti on behalf of Byron. I have been a mechanic in the transportation industry for 35 years. In 2013, I began searching the food industry for a career in mechanical repairs and maintenance. The next 4 years, I was denied many jobs due to lack of food industry experience. I know I had the common sense to do the work, but not enough hands-on experience. Byron gave me that opportunity to grow. 1 year later, I have exceeded their expectations and look forward for many more years. Thank you.
There you have the next speaker. Please come on up.
Hi, my name is Dylan Christmer, and I'm here on behalf of Byron. pretty new to the company. I started in February. So I'm relatively new, but what I've noticed is that everybody that works there is very smart and motivated. And we're all after the same goal of making our company better and bigger, and expanding. And it's currently doing that, and so we're trying to take it to another place here in Fullerton. And I think it'd be a very smart thing for the city to have. It's a very successful business that's just going to keep going up, and that's something that every city should want to have. It brings in more money for the city, so you can do more things like the things that these people are also asking for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mirzana Rahim. I am one of the current employee at Byron Inc. too, as you can see from my t-shirt. I am originally from Malaysia. I came to America in 2010, in which I did American degree program at Cal Poly Pomona. I graduated from Cal Poly in 2012 in Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology. In order to graduate, it is required for students to do internship and interview a local biotechnology company, in which bringing the story how I meet Mr. Philip Bromley, which is the CEO of Byron. At the time, Byron was located in Walnut, and the lab was very small with only Mr. Philip Bromley doing most of the R&D projects. As I was very interested with the work and vision that Byron had, which is to improve human life and health, I approached and asked for an internship at Byron. That's how my years at Byron started. From a small company with not more than 10 employees, I'm proud to be one of the first scientists that was hired to join the company. Throughout the 7 years at Byron, I'm happy to see how the company grew from a drug delivery company to a food, beverage, and supplements company. And now we are located in Pomona. Not only that, I own a patent with the company for spray drying powder at a very young age, which is 25 years old. Now I am the research manager for Byron Inc., which a lot of people my age couldn't even achieve this kind of position. It's all thanks to Byron for this amazing opportunity for me to achieve my dream at such a young age. I'm very happy to see how much the company grow. For info, I'm living here in the United States by myself. I came here by myself at a young age, which is 20 years old. All my family members are in Malaysia, but everyone at Byron had been nice, great, and respected me a lot for who I am, whereas though I have another family here. I hope my experience and story will help to make decision in giving Byron the opportunity to grow more, as it is very hard to find a biotechnology company that gives so much opportunity to the younger generation like me and diverse community in creating innovative technology that no one can create. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Helena Moreno. I'm a new employee at Byron, fairly young, and I'm in agreement with all my co-workers. I think it would be an asset here to Fullerton. We bring assets here, and it would help the city. And Byron is a very good company. They started off very small, I believe, with only 7 employees, then they went to 40, and now we're trying to get this other location in Fullerton. They're a great company, great to work for, great bosses, great employees. They look after the employees. There's room for growth. They give us opportunities of every kind, especially if you have ill family members. They're there to support you and back you up. They're just a great family company that is there to grow and help the communities, and I'm thankful to them. I became a widow about 2 years ago. I didn't work for about a year. And Byron gave me that opportunity. I started off as a temp. I was nervous. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I did my best as I could. And I became a permanent employee, so I'm thankful. The Lord has blessed me. He's opened the doors for me. I get the opportunity every now and then to pray with the people, because I'm a Christian, and I believe there's strength and power in prayer. And like the pastor was saying earlier, I'm in agreement with that. And, you know, it's all for the best of the company. I know that the company is doing well, and I know that the company is going to be blessed abundantly because they have a heart of gold for the people. and for their employees. So, thank you.
Thank you. Speaker, please.
Good evening. My name is Sean. I'm on behalf of Byron as well. I just want to start off saying I've been with the company for about 2.5 years, a little bit over 2.5 years. And when I first decided to leave my last job, it was very difficult for me to find another job because of my
Could you put that
appearance.
microphone up a little bit so you
Oh,
can hear you? Thanks.
Thank you. Because of my appearance and my piercings, and it was very difficult for me to just nail an interview. So I went onto just a website that I had no hope in even receiving a message from. And sure enough, this company sent me a replying email saying they would like to have an interview with me, and gave me that chance to meet them head first. And a couple of days later, landed a job with Byron. I was very grateful for that. I was kind of at the end of my rope, and I was kind of getting nervous, you know, young kid, working 12 hours a week, you know. So in the last 2.5 years, when I got first hired on, it was only about 7 of us. And like Rosanna was saying, it was a very, very small company, very small portions. And in the past 2 years, we've grown exponentially. We have around 40 employees. We are constantly doing productions. And for me, being just the production assistant, in a 2.5-year time, I now manage warehouse and shipping. And I'm only 25 years old. And I couldn't be more thankful for what they've done for me, as well as everybody who works for Byron. And I think the decision to have a new facility in Fullerton to bring in constant revenue with a rapidly growing company would be just nothing but beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, next speaker, come on up.
Please come on.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Kristen Anderson, and I tried to condense, so I hope I hit all the areas that I wanted to. I did attend the last meeting with Pathways Church, which was incredibly informative. Last Thursday, I learned a lot. A lot of questions were not able to be answered. I kind of came away with the feeling that they don't really know what direction they're going. They're going to kind of try to work it out as they go. I've been in that position many times before where let's buy this, let's get this, we'll make all these promises, and then we'll figure it out as we go. Not really a good way to to conduct yourselves. But in the meantime, I was shocked to learn at Pathways at the meeting that the property was offered for free. When asking why here in West Fullerton, they said, well, that's what was offered. So they also mentioned that they would be willing to build anywhere. Just, find a property that people like. I really love the idea of Kimberly Clark. I think, number one, this would only be a Band-Aid because it doesn't house enough homeless. We have so many, 300 people out there, and it would only help like maybe 60. And how do you do the vetting process? And for those who don't get it, because it is permanent, it's not like you're going to have people leaving and other people being able to take it, being able to take advantage of the offerings that might be able to help them out. So for me, it caused a real problem. I feel like we need a bigger facility. Obviously, they're going to be permanent housing because these people will not be able to get back into the workforce again. And that changes things up substantially. If they can't be rehabilitated, and they're going to have a certain amount of beds for those who are meth addicts or, drug addicts, they can get their treatment, manage their drugs, they're going to have social workers. But again, they did state, breaking the law is breaking the law, which for me was huge because us Fullertarians still feel as though we're going to still have to manage the homeless. Talking to Dave's like, if you have a problem with one of my homeless people, call me. Well, Dave, I work for the cancer center at St. Jude Hospital. I don't have the time. But I give back to the community. I pay my taxes. I try to be a good person. And I just feel like as constituents, we need to have more support. I want to help the homeless as much as the next person does, but this isn't the spot. When we have a business who's willing to come in, generate revenue, wants to buy the property, how can we say no? And then, what is his name, Curtis, said he had $24 million that he wants to help with the homeless, if this is exactly true, words from his mouth. Let's do it, let's work together. I just think that we could do great things to help resolve the issue, but this just isn't the spot. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I agree with everything that Kristen said. I'm not against, that I feel bad for the homeless. I know they need a place to stay, to live, but I don't think that that's the spot, the 1600 Commonwealth. Like I said, you can find another place that is not a lot of children around, like the way it is around where they propose, to build that. It's like how you will feel if instead of building there, they were gonna build a few houses down where you live and you and your children. I mean, you will think about probably twice. I'm not against them helping them because they need help. I understand that they need to get back on their feet and try to find a job or something. But over there, as far as that I know, they don't offer any of that. They only offer a place to stay, to continue with their habits, but not helping them. A rehabilitation center, I think that would be the ideal, because where you can have them to rehabilitate their habits, whatever they have, mental or drugs, so that can help them to get back on their feet and try to find them jobs and low-income housing, like the ones you guys building all over the place. I have read on the internet site, Mrs. Fitzgerald, that you said that we want to live in the good old days. Well, that city, there's nothing wrong to want to live like the good old days, when it was less congestion, traffic congestion, better streets, and it was nicer. Our city's falling apart little by little. I don't understand why, because I keep paying my taxes, and you're receiving money. I don't understand why there's no money to repair our city streets. In the corner of my house, which I live in Michael and Chapman, the light that is on the corner, it's not working properly. Sometimes it's so dim and it blinks. Sometimes it's off. It has been there for years like that. The city doesn't do anything. I don't understand why. Our city is getting very, very bad in this repair. And I sound like a broken record because I repeat it every single time that I have come over here. But I hope you understand, and I hope your promise to help their city and your constituents will come true. I'm not against them, but at the same time I don't want crime, drugs, and prostitution coming to my neighborhood.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Elizabeth Hansberg. I sit on the Community Development Citizens Committee for the city. I'm here because I want to support the Pathways of Hope Permanent Supportive Housing Project at 1600 West Commonwealth. I want to start by saying that I think it's wonderful that this biotech company wants to invest in Fullerton. Kimberly Clark will be leaving us soon, and our hope is to get some R&D into that space. So it will not be the last opportunity to locate in Fullerton. Regarding the site at 1600 West Commonwealth, the fact that that land is owned by the city is what will enable the numbers to work for Pathways to make this project happen. I want to read a short excerpt from the Orange County Business Council newsletter that came out today. This is in regards to their Workforce Housing Committee. It says AB 448, which will establish the Orange County Housing Trust amongst Orange County cities in the county, continues to sail through the state legislature, and OCBC is exploring a private capitable housing trust to leverage other public funds. Orange County needs 2,700 units of permanent supportive housing to adequately house our most vulnerable population. And Orange County Business Council, Jamboree Housing, has almost half of that in the pipeline, seeking approvals. But we still need another, divide that in half, 1,400 roughly units. And the conclusion to this statement says that no Orange County city has met its required housing obligations as mandated by law. If Orange County wants to maintain local control of land use, cities must step up. And what this brief excerpt outlines is what is now being done policy-wise between carrots and sticks. And the carrots are AB 448, which is the housing trust, which will put money into the pockets of the cities so that we can do these kinds of projects. It will allow us to keep our local control, to work with Pathways, which is a local nonprofit. I mean, they're our hometown nonprofit. They started off as Fullerton Interfaith Emergency Services. But the sticks are SB 35, and the Department of Housing and Community Development, Ben Metcalf, has put together a video that outlines all of the changes that happened with the 2017 housing package. And we have more sticks now coming from Sacramento. So if we want to be able to maintain local control, we have to create opportunity to do these kinds of housing developments. We have to show that there are communities, there are cities that are willing to say, yes, I will allow this type of housing in my backyard. So based on AB 448 being an opportunity for us to move forward and the changes that have come with SB 35, I would urge you to vote yes. Thank you.
Yes, may we have the next speaker, please? Please come up, ma'am.
Good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. I'm Nina Parker. I've been up here a few times, and I live in the Kimmy's neighborhood. I want to speak for a lot of the people that are here tonight. We don't all have the same ideas or opinions, but all of us yellow shirts are opposed to permanent supportive housing at 1600 West Commonwealth. We've gone to the outreach meetings, we've asked lots of questions, and we've listened. And we've informed ourselves about Pathways and the facility that they're going to build. Our conclusion is the location is completely wrong for the population to be served. We're not saying no to this stuff citywide, we're just saying it's a bad location and there are better locations to find. If Pathways was willing to change the population, it still wouldn't be right, because it would still be the Lucky Motel, Keystone, and the Armory all within a half mile. You are overburdening one small section of the city if you allow this to be built. I haven't seen any guarantees that the Armory won't reopen, and you guys can't tell me that there's a guarantee out there. I mean, if you can, I would love to hear it. But our neighborhood will suffer irreparable damage if Keystone is built. I've spoken many, many times to David Galanders, and he agrees with me that this problem that this location is a problem, and he says he would build elsewhere if he could. But because Pathways has no money and the property is free, he's going for it here. Pathways has no choice because it has no money. But our neighborhood and none of Fullerton's neighborhoods should have to carry the burden of Pathways' lack of resources. And the city shouldn't have to carry the burden either by giving away land when it is in desperate need of revenue. Okay, so AB 448 was brought up, and that's supposed to be approved by the governor before the end of September. That bill gives Pathways the resources it needs to actually purchase private property in a more suitable location, like the underperforming motels in this city that are not located in residential areas and near schools. It gives Pathways the flexibility to be a good neighbor, which is something they keep claiming they want to be. I am urging you to protect not only our neighborhood, but the whole city. Deny Pathways the right to negotiate for 1600 West Commonwealth. Encourage them to wait for funding from AB 448, and right now to start approaching private parties like the Willow Tree Lodge and the Fullerton Plaza Inn or the Fullerton Lodge to purchase those and renovate those spaces for permanent housing. But protect our families and our safety and the neighborhoods, please, that we work so hard for. Thank you.
Thank you.
is Martha Dickey, and I live in Fullerton, about 2 blocks away from Adelina Park. And I'll try not to copy too much of what she said. I've lived in Fullerton for 15 years. I've been an educator for 18 years, from kindergarten up to junior high, and I believe that when decisions are made, it's for the success of everyone involved. Meeting the people from Pathways last week, I believe they're a very knowledgeable, well-informed group of people to take on that task. But my argument would be that Commonwealth is not the location for it, for the success of the inhabitants of that housing, for several reasons. One, the areas that we've already been inundated with, the hotel and the armory, they're within blocks, walking distance of each other. Pathways made it very clear that people who go to the armory, their agenda is very different than those who want public housing. My argument would be that the armory being there and people with different issues, it would be very tempting to take them off their path. My other argument would be from Pathways, they give a testimony of a girl, Miranda. I'm sure you could YouTube her testimony. One thing she talked about was sexual assault is very common with people who deal with drugs. And right across the street, they're in residential neighborhoods, as you know by the location of the schools. You have families, you have young children walking to school. Not only that, many children get home before their parents get home. And it wouldn't take them long to figure out who's home and who's not. The other thing I'd like to state, again, looking at a location with Commonwealth, the area on Commonwealth, we're a weak spot now. We've been weakened. Fullerton has a huge heart, huge compassion. It's about education, it's about art, it's about culture. And our spot is weak. It's weak, and you'd be putting a boulder on top of us, and it will break us. Yeah. And so please find a location where the inhabitants will have the greatest amount of success, and our area of Fullerton there will have the greatest amount of sustainability right now and growth. So please choose another location.
My name is Joan Briano. I run the FullertonInformer.com, the Fullerton Informer YouTube channel. And I want to invite everybody in the audience to understand how this process works, how to steal public property and give it away to their crony pals, and how you stop that is you apply pressure on the Planning Commission to make sure they don't rezone the use of this property. Then you come back here and you continue to apply pressure to these people that are working out this dirty deal. It's a situation where the state legislature is run by insane criminals, and we shouldn't have to follow their edicts when they want to ban straws and hand out syringes. I happen to be a soccer coach this year, and I have 14 young girls that have to practice over at Pacific Drive Elementary, and because this city has no money to keep the grass cut every week, they have to cut it every 2 weeks. And so the problem is, I can't see if there's heroin needles from the hypes in the grass when these girls are running around with their cleats instead of high tops. That's a problem, folks. And what this city has done and tried to do in the past is turn this place into a high-rise hell with the downtown core and corridor-specific program that was defeated by people in this community that would have turned this place into metropolitan Los Angeles. But the word is out on the street that the developers are not welcome here because you people are not going to be allowed to rezone any more shopping centers into high-density housing with bankrupt businesses that stay downstairs that serve as a mill for the SBA fraud. And that's a fact. We don't need to import poverty. We got a business here that is changing lives. If these people want to change their life that are down on their luck, the Home Depot parking lot is waiting for them. There's plenty of work to be had in the mornings. The hospital can give them their methadone. If they want to clean up, they can get right with Jesus Christ. There are ways to do this without ripping us off and ruining our neighborhoods. And when are you people going to realize that now has come the time when people are not going to put up with you people ripping us off anymore and ruining our city? Where'd all the money go for the road repair? La Palma, Buena Park, Garden Grove, Santa Ana, Anaheim. Everyone's got the same police budget, fire budget, pension obligations, healthcare obligations, tree trimmers, sewer workers, and they can manage to fix all their roads. And we got high densities to Kingdom Come, and this place is a disaster area. What is going on? Where did the $100 million go that those cities spent on their road repair that we haven't been able to find. And we say we're broke, and your solution is to feel sorry for these people. You know, I feel sorry for them too. But you want to know something? There's ways to fix this problem without destroying what's left of this community that hasn't already been destroyed by a multi-generational cabal that has had a death grip on our city government. And it's time to end it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm running in 2020, and I'm not going away.